There is a paradox so profound that it defies logic, a truth so hidden in plain sight that most will live their entire lives without ever touching it. We are taught from childhood to fight for control, to push, to strive, to resist the current, to be masters of our fate, captains of our souls. But what if I told you that true mastery begins with surrender? Not surrender in the sense of giving up. No, this is not the surrender of defeat. It is the surrender of the ego, the release of the illusion that we can control every detail, every outcome, every twist of fate, because control, my friend, is not seized with clenched fists. It is embraced with open hands. Think of Edison, working in the lab while his experiments failed over 1,000 times. Did he fight against failure, or did he surrender to the process, learning, adjusting, refining? It was his surrender to the journey, not his resistance, that brought the light bulb to life. Or Lincoln, navigating a nation torn in two. He didn't control every voice of dissent, every act of rebellion. Instead, he surrendered to a higher vision of unity, adapting, bending without breaking, like a mighty oak in a storm. He let go of the need for immediate approval and trusted in the slow, grinding arc of justice. This is the art of surrender, the art of flowing with the current rather than against it, of seeing obstacles not as walls to break through, but as rivers to redirect, of knowing when to act with force and when to yield with grace. You see, control is an illusion when rooted in fear, but surrender anchored in clarity and purpose, becomes the gateway to real power. When you surrender, you strip away distractions. You stop fighting battles that don't serve your vision. You let go of the need to control others and instead focus on mastering yourself, your thoughts, your reactions, your habits. This is what Napoleon Hill taught us, not just in words, but in the very structure of success itself. It's not about forcing outcomes. It's about aligning your mind with a higher purpose, a deeper clarity, and then trusting the process as you move forward. Surrender doesn't mean inaction. It means inspired action. Action born from conviction, not desperation. It means letting go of the illusion that you need to know every step before you begin. It's standing at the edge of uncertainty and saying, I don't know the full path, but I trust my purpose enough to take the first step. Look at Disney, whose dreams were crushed by bankruptcy and betrayal. Yet he surrendered to his vision of a world beyond what anyone could see. He didn't cling to old plans or crumble under rejection. He adapted, evolved, trusted the whispers of his imagination until the impossible became inevitable. And so you must ask yourself, where in your life are you holding on too tightly? Where are you trying to force outcomes rather than surrender to the flow of wisdom and adaptation? What fears are chaining you to inaction because you're too scared to let go? Real control is not about dominating the world. It's about dominating your mind. The art of surrender is the art of clarity, of knowing what matters so deeply that you can release everything else. It is the discipline to walk away from distractions, the humility to admit you don't control everything, and the courage to trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. So today, release the need to control the uncontrollable. Surrender the petty battles for approval, the relentless need to force results. Focus instead on what you can master, your mind, your heart, your purpose. When you do this, you'll find something extraordinary. The world begins to align around you, not because you demanded it, but because you created the space for it to flow into your life. You surrender the struggle, and in doing so, you gain control over the only thing that ever truly mattered, yourself.